This is it. This is the day, the big day. I'm so excited. Let me check to make sure I'm live. I don't want to, think that I'm going, I'll be yabbering thinking I'm live and I'm not live. That would be embarrassing for me. No, it wouldn't be embarrassing. I think I'd feel like a doofus. That's what happened. I would feel like a doofus. Hold on. Checking to see if you're here. Please stand by. There! I see us! I see us! Whoop, whoop! Is anybody here yet? It's kind of early. It's Saturday morning. Who's here? I need one person to jump on. Nutty! Is that Nutty or Natty? Natty. Sorry. Natty, you're not nutty, are you? I'm sorry. I don't have my reading glasses on. Oh. Happy Thanksgiving! I'm going to say that a few times today. Happy Thanksgiving! Okay. I made it. We made it. Looks like we made it to Jill's live Thanksgiving Palooza. We had so much fun watching me run around like a crazy chicken. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is going to be another full morning. It's going to be great. I'm going to break this up, or try to break this up into 3 or 4 segments, okay? So, if you are new to watching this series, or you just came in, from somewhere else on YouTube and you landed here, I just want you to know that you have landed in day 3 of a 3-day live cooking event. So you need to go to my Simple Daily Recipes front page YouTube channel. I said that all out of order. You need to go to my home channel, the front page of my YouTube channel. It's a little early and I've only had like a half a cup of tea. So the energy is just coming from whatever I ate last night. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, okay. So, if you look on my channel page, I have a playlist called Thanksgiving Recipes 2016, and you can go to the beginning of that and watch it all the way through and see how I have prepared my Thanksgiving dinner for my family. We're plant-based and just pretty much oil-free, with the exception of just one recipe that I use, and you'll have to go back to day 1 to figure out what recipe that is. But pretty much this is a oil-free, plant-based Thanksgiving dinner. Oh, and there's Charlie. Oh, Charlie's here. I had to run send Charlie on a run because Thursday night I used up. Thank you. Hey, say hi.
Hi.
Oh, you're kidding.
Hi.
I know. I was trying to get the counter and, everything in there. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thursday night, I made up a creamy pasta, kind of like macaroni and cheese kind of thing. Anyways, and I used up all my cauliflower that night, and I meant to go back to the store, but it never happened. And then this morning, I was like, I was like the Home Alone kid. So I woke Charlie up and I was like, you gotta run to the store and give me some cauliflower. And I told him to go ahead and just buy the cut up flowerets so I could save myself the trouble of cutting them up. Normally I just get the whole head because I'm cheap like that. But this morning I'm making an exception. You know what I mean? Oh. So I'm going to make that later. This is going to be, I'll show you what it's going to be about. I'll show you where that's going to go. Who's here? I want to say good morning. Who's here? Linda. Good morning, Linda from Wisconsin. Oh, yeah, Linda. I want to go there someday. Sherry's here from Wisconsin, too. Okay, if I come to Wisconsin, I need to hook up with Linda and Sherry. And MP4 is here. She's been here all 3 days. There's so many of you that have been here for every segment. I just want to thank you for that. Thank you for being my cheerleading squad. I do go back like this whole time. When I'm cooking, I haven't had a chance to read your comments. But when it's all over, the chat box stays up for me on my side for a little while. And so I'm able to go back through and read what everybody was saying and what y'all were talking about. So I have not missed out on seeing who's here and who's not here. So who else is here? Kim from Texas. Oh, I got me a Texas girl. Oh, what part of Texas are you from, Kim? I'm here in Austin. Oh, but I grew up around Dallas, and I've lived in Fort Worth, and I've lived in Sulphur Springs. I've just hung out in Texas. There's Annette. There's my girl. Good morning, Annette. She is awesome. Annette's awesome. The vegan, the Kissed Vegan 92? Good morning, plant eaters. Good morning, plant eaters. I'm so glad you're here. Evelina's here. She's been here the whole time. How are you doing, hun? Oh my gosh. Natty says it's a good thing it's not Thanksgiving. It's hard to make quick grocery runs on Thanksgiving Day. Oh yeah, I'd have to say, doing this Thanksgiving, the first weekend of the month, man, it's sweet because the ingredients are showing up at the grocery store, but there's no frenzy. You know what I'm saying? And everything's in stock. So I'm like, I think that, this is going pretty well, doing this live show. I think I could do this from now on. In fact, I was, the other day I mentioned we have so many Canadians here in the group, and I just love that. But they have their, Thanksgiving early. So I'm thinking I should have my Thanksgiving early with them. And then that just gives us Americans more time to plan, our Thanksgiving. Yeah, so I think I'm going to do that next year. For sure. Oh, Kimmy Jean. Hi, Kimmy Jean. This is awesome. Diane is here. Good morning, Diane and Deborah. Wait a minute, I want to go up a little bit. I want to see who else is here. Who did I miss? Chris Ferdy is here. Jenna. Oh, Jenna. Sherry. I see Sherry. I see you. Oh, and Jeannie. That's Jeannie M. Jeannie M, I know you've been here the whole time. There's Ellen. And Mandy. Oh my goodness. All right, that's everybody. That's everybody that's awake. There will be more. Awesome. Okay. I saved us a little bit of time this morning. I've gone ahead. We're going to start with my Meemaw's cornbread dressing. Oh, this is so good. Little story. When my grandmother, I'm sure my grandmother was just like your grandmother. She had, when I came on the scene, she had all her recipes memorized already. And all my memories of Thanksgiving, because if y'all don't know, I was raised by my grandparents. So all my Thanksgiving recipes or memories are of her of me watching her cook. There were just certain times that I was allowed in the kitchen, and then other times I had to get out of the kitchen. And so I got to watch her put the dressing together, but she never measured anything. I mean, she poured spices in her hands. She just kind of eyeballed stuff. She had it down. She'd taste, and then, she'd get it to where she thought it was right, and then that was the end of it. And my job in the kitchen was, tearing up breadcrumbs and crumbling the cornbread and stuff like that. So, that's all I got to do. And then I got to smell everything and look at weird stuff and eyeball those giblets. She'd cook up those giblets, make that giblet broth, and I'd be like, ew. I mean, giblet gravy was just weird. Anyways, so and then, growing up, when she passed away, nobody knew her cornbread dressing. My Aunt Deb and I were the cooks in the family. We're the ones crazy about cooking. And so we frantically worked to figure out how to make her cornbread dressing. And I think I got it down pretty well. My grandmother loved putting sage in her cornbread dressing. She used boiled eggs. She'd add the giblets. She'd add, celery and onion and all that. And then it was always just white bread and cornbread, and then mixed it all together with some broth, threw in some eggs, baked it up, and then voila, we had this wonderful cornbread dressing. So I got that down. It took me a few years, but I got that down. And then we went off and, went to the plant side, and we went all plant-based. And I was like, oh no, how am I going to make Meemaw's cornbread dressing? So that took me a couple of years to get that down, but I have it now. I have it, and I am very proud of my plant-based Meemaw's cornbread dressing, and I can't wait to share it with y'all. I've already, if you were here on day one, you've already seen me bake up my cornbread dressing. Let me change the camera angle because we're going to throw this together. Okay, so you already witnessed that I baked up that baked eggy tofu. And I used it, and then I have my cornbread that I've already baked up. Did that on day one as well. And then I had some, this was some fancy bread from the Foodie Bakery that we didn't eat the whole loaf, and I was fine with that. It was plant-based, or, it didn't have any. It has a little bit of oil in it, but there was no milk or eggs in this. So I said, okay, well, whatever we didn't use, I threw it up in the freezer, and it's just been waiting for this day. So I've got that, and then I went ahead, just to save us some time. The lighting's not really good here, I'm sorry. Just to save us a little time, and so I could talk more with y'all, I went ahead and water sauteed, oh my goodness, I'm tired, I need more tea. I went ahead and water sauteed my celery, onions, bell pepper, and instead of giblets in my cornbread dressing, I like to use chopped mushrooms. And so I went ahead and threw the mushrooms in there, and the mushrooms are going to be those little bits of chewy bits that would have been giblets in my Meemaw's dressing. The eggy tofu, this is my boiled egg replacement. I'm sorry, if I'm out of order this morning, it's just because I'm still a little sleepy-headed, and this has been a wild adventure doing all this live. Anyways, okay, so what I need to do is I'm just going to leave this in here, and I'm going to mix my cornbread dressing in this pot and get it seasoned up, and then I'm going to transfer it to my casserole dish, and we're going to bake that up. Oh, and for my eggs, let me just tell you what my replacements are here. Meemaw would have used eggs to help bind her cornbread dressing, but I'm using the flaxseed jelly, and we talked about that on day one as well, how I mix this up. When it's the holidays, and I know I'm going to do a lot of baking, I go ahead and mix up a whole pint jar of ground flaxseed and water, and then I just put it up in the refrigerator, and this will last a week in the refrigerator. And it probably could last longer. I don't know. I use it up within the week, so if it goes longer, you'll have to tell me. But anyways, this is enough, and then I'm going to use this to replace my egg. And then for my chicken broth, Meemaw would have boiled up giblet gravy and she would have boiled up giblets and used the broth off of that. But I'm just going to use, I have Better Than Bouillon, no chicken base. Let me show you what that jar looks like. Now this product does have a little oil in it, but I'm only using a teaspoon per cup. So once it's all watered down, it's not that evil. I like it. It really does taste like chicken broth. And they sell this. This is a common ingredient. You can find it in all the grocery stores. But you'll have to make sure that your grocery store carries the no chicken base, okay? If you can't find this, their vegetable broth is really good. And see, it's certified vegan. So this is good stuff. But I'm going to use this today. If you can't find this, there's another company called Imagine. that makes a no chicken broth that's low sodium and oil free. Now you'll have to go to a Foodie Mart to find it, but it's really good too. But I didn't go to the Foodie Mart I needed to go to. I had this on hand, and so I'm using this. But they're both great. Okay, I'm gonna get going. I need to crumble up this cornbread. Now I baked up a whole pan, 9x9 pan of cornbread. But I'm going to eyeball this. I may not use it all. I may use the whole thing. I don't know. I am making enough cornbread dressing for our Thanksgiving. And then Charlie and I will enjoy this at Christmas too. I'm going to bake up a whole casserole dish. And then after it's all baked up, I will cut it in half. We'll eat half of it for the next few days. And then we'll put the other half up in the freezer. And then we'll eat it later. You'll see it come back then. Shelly's here. Hi, Shelly. I can look at comments while I crumble cornbread. Sally's asking, does flaxseed bind as tight as eggs? As tight as eggs? Yes. Yeah, it gets pretty sticky. I use ground flaxseed in water for most of my baking. I do have some of those egg replacement products. Like I have Energy Egg, and I just bought the Follow Your Heart vegan egg, and I put that in my pecan pie yesterday. Oh, did y'all see that video? Did you see my happy husband dancing over his pecan pie? Y'all, that made me feel so good. I was so glad I did not ruin his pecan pie. I was going to be so sad if I got that wrong, but I didn't. Yay! It worked out. Okay, this bread, I'm going to say a handful is a cup's worth. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's about 4 cups of stale bread. All of the recipes, if you're new today or you've just missed this every time I've said it, all the recipes that I have prepared during this live Thanksgiving Palooza will be in a downloadable PDF and in a Kindle ebook. Hopefully, this coming Tuesday, November 8th. I'm going to give this a stir, and then I'm going to add this tofu. So we are working to... Let me bow that. I'm working frantically. When I'm not doing these live cooking demos, I think I need a bigger pot. I am working on the cookbook that goes along with this. And so I'm hoping to have all that available and ready to download by Tuesday. We shall see. Look at that. That looks so good, baby. I gotta put my spices in there. I like to get this distributed. Let's get my bread stirred up first, and then I'll start seasoning it. I used to have a bigger bowl. You know what? That's what I really want to use, but you know what? I'm gonna get my big. Hold on, y'all be patient with me. I've got a bigger bowl that I like to use for serious canning. Hold on just a second. I should have got this out earlier. Let me give it a little wince. I don't know, stay with me. Stay with me. Y'all, we're getting serious now. We're gonna get hers. You're like, dang, where'd she get that bowl? That is a serious bowl, baby. This is a serious mixing bowl. This is really what I use when I'm canning. When I've gone and if I've gone to the farmer's market and I've got a bunch of fruit or vegetables or whatever, I use this giant bowl to shell my peas and trim my green beans and mix my cornbread. Alright, now I got some room to work. You know what I'm saying? I can get busy now. Look at there. Now I'm working. I feel like I'm cooking now. I'm not just making do. Alright. Yay! Okay. Alright, now I can toss in my baked eggy tofu. And I need to add, what do I need to add? I need to add my spices. So I have some poultry seasoning. I recycle all my jars. See, I've been using Better Than Bouillon for a while. And I have a hard time throwing away glass jars, so I just recycle them and buy my spices in bulk. Because I'm cheap like that. Alright, I'm using 2 teaspoons of poultry seasoning. My husband and I have a lot of things in common. And one of those things is we like a lot of sage in our cornbread dressing. That's just, we gotta have it. It just has to be that way. I need a half a teaspoon of rubbed sage. I'm telling you, the poultry seasoning's got sage in it. And then I add more sage. And then I need a half a teaspoon of black pepper. And I'm gonna give this a taste after I get this all stirred up and see what happens. See where I am. And then I need 3/4 cup of my flaxseed jelly. You hear that? You hear that blue jay squawking? He is mad about something. Or she. Now, so there's flaxseed jelly. It's kind of loose, but it will hold everything together. I promise. Somebody says, how can I substitute sage? I have no idea. Somebody else is going to have to help Lana there. I don't have a clue. Don't know, baby. Alright, oh well. Alright, this is half a cup. And then I need half one of those. Another 1/4. I'm just eyeballing this. And see, this is probably about a 1/4 cup of flaxseed jelly, and I can use that to make muffins or something like that. Something. I'll find some use for it. All right, let's give this a stir, and then I'll add that chicken broth. No chicken broth, and we'll be ready to rock. And I'm going to pop that in the oven, and that's going to go for about a half an hour. Could go as long as 40 minutes, depending on how wet I get my dressing. I like my dressing moist in the middle, but I like it crunchy on top, and I like the chewy corners on the sides. That is just, I want it dark brown on top, or golden red brown on the top and the sides, but I want it to stay moist in the middle. I want the best of both worlds. You know what I'm saying? I want it all. Oh, that looks good. Yummy. Okay, I need to try this. Now, I know that my sage is going to get stronger with time. Not with, I didn't put time, you know what I mean. Oh, that's good. Now, did you notice I didn't add any salt? I just added pepper. And I'll tell you why I didn't do that. Because when I seasoned the baked eggy tofu, that had, you remember, I seasoned it with black salt, and I seasoned it very generously. Well, that black salt comes off that eggy tofu and will season, salt up your food. I learned that the first time I did this, and I got my cornbread dressing too salty. So keep that in mind. If you use the baked eggy tofu in your cornbread dressing, that black salt will come off and it will season your cornbread. And then my cornbread had a little salt in it. Okay, remember that when we had to put that together? So there's plenty of salt, and there's going to be a little salt from the chicken broth, the no chicken broth. Even if you buy low sodium no chicken broth or a low sodium vegetable broth, that's still going to have some level of salt in it too. So once you get all that together, your cornbread dressing can get pretty salty quick. So just keep that. Just don't even put it in until the very last if you think you even need it. Okay? All right. I like this just the way it is. Let me taste it from a different part of the bowl. Make sure I've got my spices well distributed here, because I would not want to bite into my cornbread and have a blank spot. You know what I'm saying? That would be wrong. Yes, I'm double dipping with my spoon. It's my house. My house. Oh, see? I missed a little sage spot right there. Okay. This is where I'm going to walk it in, y'all. We're going to walk it in. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit, because I like sage. But you don't have to put it in here. If you don't like sage, leave it out. Do your thing. Add some marjoram. Add some oregano. Use some Greek oregano. That would be good. Nice Greek oregano would work. Now my brain's working. Okay, now let's add some broth. I need to make this moist. This is 4 cups, but I'm just going to walk this in as well. I want this to be wet, but I don't want it to be soupy. I don't like soupy broth. That's gross. Well, it's not gross. It's just not my thing. I've had soupy broth. It's actually quite delicious, but I'm not crazy about that texture. There you go. Just not crazy about it. Oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks good. Nice and wet. Not soupy, though. Definitely sticking to my spoon. Oh, that looks good. Yeah, that is good. See, can you see that? It's wet. It can clump together, but it's not soupy. I think I can handle that. And that's pretty moist. Okay, let's get this in the casserole dish, because I got something else to make. I'm a very busy woman today. All right, let's dry my hands here. I always want to wash my hands. Oh, will it fit? I have no idea. Let's see. I always worry about this part. I always think, oh my gosh, I've made too much dressing. It's not going to fit. And then, look at her. It fits. Yay. If anybody has asked me where I got this giant bowl, I'll let you know. I found it at an antique store. No, I didn't. I take that back. I lied. I found this at an estate sale. That's where I get all my best Pyrex and big pans like this and all my canning tools and things like that. You go to estate sales, man, because grandkids, they don't know anything about their mama's kitchen. And they will sell off stuff. They will sell off the best treasures, kitchen treasures. They don't have a clue. And they'll sell that stuff off for like $1. I think I got this pan for $1. And I was like, I didn't say anything, but I shook my head. I was like, your mama is upset with you right now. You don't even know what you're giving away. Okay, there we go. I like a little crumb. Hey, get back in there. I want that tofu pushed in. There's a little tip too. I like have the tofu pushed into your cornbread, because in the baking time it'll dry out, and you don't want it too chewy. So I push my tofu in. I want it to stay moist. Get in there. Get. Oh, there's one. Get in there. Hide. 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 Oh, get in there. It wants to pop back up. You see that? It doesn't want to go in. Get in there. Get. Okay, that's close enough. Okay, there we go. I'm done playing with the cornbread. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's pop that in the oven. What else needs to go in the oven? Hold on, I got something else that needs to go in the oven too. But does it go in the oven as long as the other? Let me see. I need to make savory spinach muffins. Let me check. Yeah, I'm going to give this a head start. Okay, I'm going to give this a 10-minute head start. All right, I already have my oven hot. It's rocking at 375 degrees. I'm going to give it a 10-minute head start in front of these muffins. La, la, la. That's not the middle rack. I want this on the middle rack. Whoa! Okay, excuse me. For somebody who doesn't have anything on her tummy, I've got a lot of burping going on. Whole lot of burping going on. How are y'all? You still with me? Everybody doing okay? Somebody asked me what my Instagram is. It's my name, at Jill McKeever. McKeev as in Victor, ER. Look me up. Follow me on Instagrammy. Okay, I don't need these two things anymore. Let me get this out of my way. Let's get ready to make some savory spinach muffins. Want to? Okay, so in the past, the main dish, I've been making lentil loaf. The first plant-based Thanksgiving, I made lentil meatloaf muffins, and I used a muffin pan, and I basically just made a just a plain brown lentil meatloaf with the ketchup on top. And then I made mashed potatoes and peas. We had a really simple plant-based Thanksgiving. I was not up to making cornbread dressing at that point, or that was the salty cornbread year. Anyways, so I've always done some kind of lentil loaf, but this year I want to mix it up. Did y'all watch that video where I made McDougal's veggie burgers? Those were so good. And like a week later, I took that same recipe and I added hash browns to it, put it in a casserole dish, and baked it in the oven as like a whole casserole. That was awesome. You have to try that. Take that recipe, add about 4 cups of frozen hash browns to it, stir it in, and then pop that in the oven. Same oven temperature and everything, and then bake it off for like half an hour. It is amazing. Oh, so I said I needed another green for my Thanksgiving dinner, so I want to make the McDougal veggie burger batter, but put it in a muffin pan, okay? And I want to bake that off. I think that will be good. This is new. I'm gonna wing it. We're gonna figure it out, see if it works, see if it turns out. Another kitchen adventure. Okay. I saved us the trouble this morning. Like I said, just like I saved us trouble, or saved us time. I didn't save us trouble. I saved us the time of watching me water saute onions and mushrooms, and I went ahead and did that before I turned on the camera. So in my bowl here, let me do a camera switch, Rooney. Okay, here we go. In my bowl, I have 1 small onion that's been water sauteed, and then I have the other half of that silken tofu. Tofu? What is tofu? What did I make the first batch of tofu with? Who can tell me? I cut this in half and I used it for something. What did I make? I can't remember. Oh, the hot veggie dip. That's it. So now I'm using the other half. All right, and I'm going to use, I need to blend this silken tofu, make it creamy, so I can stir in the other ingredients. And to do that, I am going to turn on my immersion blender and give it a little zzz, kind of funny. I'm going to do a little zzz, zzz, zzz. It'll take me just a second. Hold on, I got to plug her in. Then to take it. I got so much power going on. Get in there. Okay, there we go. No, I chopped that up, I remember. I was thinking I just dropped my whole clove in there, but I didn't. Okay, I'm going to leave this plugged in because I'm going to use it in just a little while when I go to rice my potatoes. Okay, I'm going to get real kitchen here. And I'm going to use my fingers like I really do in real life. Dun, 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 dun. You're really seeing home cooking right here. She's gone off. She stopped being a cooking show. Now she's cooking like everybody else, sticking her finger in the food. Oh my gosh. Somebody, I promise somebody, will drop a comment and be all grossed out that I stuck my finger in my food. Y'all watch. You just watch. There are some funny people out there. That's what I'll call them, funny. Oh, and somebody, I see y'all talking about tofu. I'll tell you, when we first went plant-based, I said to my friend, and she'll back me up on this, I said, I'm going to go plant-based, but I am not getting into tofu. I don't like tofu, and I'm not going to eat it. And then I learned, one day I wanted to make some mayonnaise, and guess what? Most of the mayonnaise recipes that I kept running into called for tofu. And I was like, dang it. So I started buying tofus, and I learned that tofu is not all the same. I learned I do not like and will not ever purchase tofu in those aseptic cartons that you find on the regular baking aisle, like in the Asian food section. I think those are so gross, and I can taste that tofu in that carton come through in the recipe that I've used it in. But the tofus that are in the refrigerated section, in the produce section of the grocery store, those I like. And my favorite brand, I'll show you my favorite brand. This is my favorite brand, Nasoya. I typically buy extra firm tofu all the time, and I only buy silken tofu if I know I'm going to make tofu mayo or something like that, or if I know I'm going to make something creamy, I'll go buy the silken tofu. But I keep extra firm tofu on hand, and I learned it's the brand. They're not all the same. You're going to have to go through, spend a little money, and experiment and taste your way through till you find a plain tofu that's cool. But don't eat it straight. Oh my gosh, don't eat it straight when you first discover tofu. That's gross. You gotta make yourself a tofu scramble, or make you some tofu egg salad. That's what turned my family onto it. We made a tofu egg salad, which called for tofu mayo, and that worked. That won us over. Okay, I need to get busy here. We got 6 ounces of the tofu, and I need to add, I have 1 small onion and about 4 button mushrooms that I water sauteed, and then I have 1 minced garlic clove in here. And then here is a half a bag of what was frozen spinach that I have thawed. I just ran it under some hot water and I gave it a good squeeze. I said, hey baby, how's it going? What you doing? And I gave it a little squeeze. I gave it a big squeeze. Okay, and then here I have, what is this? I need 3/4 cup of rolled oats. And if my oats look dark, it's because this is a mix of regular rolled oats and rye rolled oats. Because I'm just trying stuff on. I'm trying stuff. Hi, Max Howard.
Hello.
You want to come say hello to everybody?
Yes.
Oh, come here.
Let me stand.
Just come right here. Right there. And look right there.
Hello. How are all of you?
Do you know my son?
Yeah. I think the majority does.
This is Max, and he's 16, and he's plant-based. My kids are plant-based. When we went plant-based, Charlie and I just said we're taking the kids with us. They were young enough at the time, they had no choice, and so we just made them go plant-based, didn't we? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we had to, they had to learn to live without certain things, but they're fine now, aren't you?
Yep.
You're doing pretty good?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it didn't hurt his growth. Look at this. He's coming. Look at it. Wait, he's slumping. Stand up straight. Look at that. He falls right out of the frame. He's getting almost as tall as his dad. Yeah. And the muscles, they're coming. He's just, give us some muscles. Come on. Yeah. Plant-based, baby. Plant-based. Yeah. Isaac. I love you. He's so sweet. He's the best. He's the best. Okay, I'm going to get back to this now. Okay, so we've added 3/4 cup rolled oats. I need a 1/2 tablespoon of soy sauce or tamari, whichever one you have on hand. What did I just say? Uh-oh, I got pretend that was half. I did a whole, but pretend that was 1/2 tablespoon. Then I need 1/2 tablespoon of Dijon. I'm going to eyeball that. I need a 1/2 teaspoon of liquid smoke. Yeah, baby. I love my liquid smoke. Wouldn't be Jill's channel if she didn't have liquid smoke. Alright, and then I need some lemon juice. I need a 1/2 teaspoon. That doesn't seem like a lot, but it'll work. 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. And then that's it. That's all we need. That's it. Did I get the I forgot the paprika. Did I get the paprika in there? No, I didn't. 1/2 teaspoon of paprika. You can use cayenne, ground cayenne pepper flakes if you've got them on hand. That's good too. The tofu in this is pretty mellow. The spinach is pretty mellow. So if you want to kick this up a notch, you could totally do that with some ground cayenne pepper. I need these later. I don't want to throw these. All right, there we go. Okay, I need a spoon. Give me a big spoon. All right, let's stir this up. How am I doing on time? I have no idea. I got 10 minutes left on my cornbread. Uh-oh, I've really been rambling on. I do that. I have good intentions to make short shows, and then I get all chatty. I can't help it. I can talk. All right. You know what I just realized? Is it not in my recipe? Oh, I got the oats. Yeah, that's right. Okay, that's right. I was thinking that I needed to add a little flour to this to make it bind up. But the oats will make everything come together, or help everything come together, and the tofu will come together. It'll get more solid. That's it. So I'm all right. I'm all right. Okay, I'm going to use my silicone bakeware, which I know Mark is going to cringe at. Mark's going to be like, oh, she's using the silicone again. But that's what I have. That's what I like. That's how I roll. I'm using a ice cream scoop to divide this up. Make things easier. Get my portion control going on. It may, I don't know, you know, actually, might be dipping too hard here. Might be these too big. I think I might run out. Hold on. I may not make it to 12. We'll see. Whoops. That's kind of a chunk. Oh. We shall see. How much will it make? I thought I was going to make 12. Whoops. I'm going to rob from this first one. Okay, so it makes 10. But this one's a little big. This one, I'm going to rob from this one. Put it over here. Oh, don't act like you've never done that too. You know you'd do the same thing if you could. Make it all even. See, like this one's not got enough. Shh. Shh, don't tell nobody. Don't freak out. Okay, now I'm gonna press these down, and I need to add a little breadcrumb. I'm gonna top these with some seasoned breadcrumb just to make these look more appetizing. Okay, there we go. And then I can pop them in the oven. We'll be ready. And my seasoned breadcrumbs that I'm using today, I had a little bit of panko breadcrumbs left over at the, kind of at the bottom of a jar, and I was like, let me just use these up, get these out of my pantry. So I seasoned these with onion powder and some an Italian spice blend that I had. This kind of a pasta seasoning blend that had oregano, basil, or some marjoram in it, that kind of stuff. Just a simple little blend. So it's a nice Italian smelling breadcrumbs. You use whatever you want. And I'm just gonna drop these on top. I'm just pinching it, dropping it. Voila! Voila! Look at there, just like that. Look at that, like I do it all the time. Ha! I'm so good. I'm gonna put a little more right there. I know some of these breadcrumbs are probably gonna fall off when I try to take these out, so I'll push those in, make sure they stick a little. Stay! That's it! Okay, let's pop these in the oven. Oh, let's do it. Let's do it, yeah! I think I'll be alright. Oh, let me get on this side, since my casserole, my cornbread dressing's on that side. Oh, so nice to have a big oven. Alright, that's it. That's got 10 minutes to go on my cornbread. And then I'm going to go 25 minutes on the spinach muffins. And then I'll be ready for the next thing. Okay, so I'm done here. We're going to end this. I'm going to clean up and get ready for the next segment. I'm going to make creamy mashed potatoes in the iPot. Woo, woo. And what else do I have to make? Oh, and then I got to put together my buttermilk bread rolls, y'all. Okay, so you remember that? I already made the dough on, what day was that? Thursday. I've had it in the refrigerator. It's been doing a slow rise in the refrigerator. And now I'm ready to shape it into some bread rolls. And then we'll pop those in the oven in the last segment. So, but I want to give those time to rise. Anyways, okay, I'm going to let y'all go. Go make yourself another cup of coffee, another hot tea, whatever you like to drink. Make yourself something to snack on. Let's meet back here in 30 minutes. Okay, whatever time it is right now, 30 minutes from now. Okay? All right, I'll see y'all in just a bit.